Welcome to episode number 15. We looked up what episode number it was today just for you guys, trying to be professional. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. We've been sitting at the same subscribers forever, and we know all 23 people who have subscribed to the channel, and it's not you. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Do it right now before we start talking.
Hit it.
Anyways, my name is Jacob.
My name is Glenn.
And we are Half Brothers, hence the name of the podcast, Half Brothers Podcast. If you don't know what that means, just Google it. It's a quick little Google search. But a little bit of a different pace today. Glenn's going to be running the episode, so go ahead, Glenn.
Yeah, I'm just touching our logo real quick. Wow, dang, that kind of hurt, man.
Don't be scared, guys.
Touching the logo on your screen?
No.
Okay, great. It was funny on my end. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for kicking it with us today. A lot of crazy stuff happened. The date is June 10th, Tuesday, 2025. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, what a week it has been in the pop culture of the United States of America. You know what? Before we dive into all this, Jacob, I just want to check in on you, bro. How are you doing, man? How is life in Ohio? How is the soccer stuff? Is there any soccer drama? Is the season over? I know you lost not too long ago, but before we get into the craziness of America, I want to hear what's going on in the craziness of Jacob. You got a hat on that says good, but the question is Jacob good?
So, we got the hat on that says good. It is a golf hat. I don't know if the Callaway logo is right there. No, it's not right there. Oh, they don't have them on these ones. Anyway, it's a golf hat. It's a YouTube brand called Good Good. Everybody knows them. So I'm a golfer now, dude. I don't play soccer anymore. I'm just strictly a golfer. No, I still play soccer. We just got absolutely destroyed last night, and it's really upsetting. There's this team that in my Thursday night league, they were in that league last session, didn't lose a game until the championship, and then they lost to a team that's insanely good. And so they joined the same league that I'm in, and our best player decided that he was sick before the game and didn't play very well, and nobody played very well, to be honest with you.
He decided he was sick before the game?
Yes, bro.
So
he didn't say anything all day. He wasn't saying he was feeling bad all day. He gets to the game and goes, man, my head is hurting so bad. Can I not start? And I'm like, yeah, sure, like, I'll start. Our best girl defender decides, like, 2 hours before the game that she's not coming. So yeah, we had no girl sub. We were talking about it on the bench. We were like, every time we get hurting on girls, like we're like, oh, we'll be able to find enough girls just to play, but we might not have a girl sub. We'll ask the girls like, hey, do you guys want a sub? And they're always like, no, we're okay, we don't need one. And then we start playing, and they're like, man, I'm gassed, like I'm tired. So we're like, no, we're not asking them anymore. We're always finding a sub if we have to. But
well, it sounds like you're really trying to empower women, but the women that you're empowering, they're not really stepping up to the occasion. Is that what you would say, Jacob?
Anyway, so we lost 9-1. So it was really bad, and the worst.
And you had less women?
No, we had 3 women. You have to have 3.
Oh, right.
But the worst part was, I subbed myself in on defense, and it was only either 1 or 2 to nothing. There was genuinely 4 goals that were directly my fault. It was ego shattering. Not to mention, I've been playing a lot of golf. So the ego is already shattered enough.
Yeah, you're very humbled right now. Sometimes the Lord uses moments like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then we played a fill-in game afterwards, and I scored an absolute screamer. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just done playing defense. I'm done playing defense. I never played defense growing up. I don't know why I feel like I can do it now that I'm an adult, but yeah. So soccer has not been going well, and the ego was definitely beat up from it, I'm not going to lie.
Well, that's a great transition because, Jacob, while your ego's down, you might not be feeling great. You might be down in the dumps, not doing well because of that. You know what else is not doing well is the bromance between Elon Musk and President Donald J. Trump. Oh, my God.
That was smooth.
That is insane, the transition I just made,
That was
right?
smooth.
I mean, it's like I've been in television for 20-plus years. But the truth is, I've been watching the best of the best. Shout out to Conan O'Brien, my hero, and the late, great Dave Letterman. I don't know why I said late, great. He's not dead, but his show was on
I thought
late.
he was dead from you saying that because I don't really watch
No.
those shows.
his show was on late, and he was great. So that's why I say the late, great David Letterman, because his show was the late show. That being said, did you see Elon Musk go absolutely nuclear on Donald Trump? And I want to clarify, this is not a political podcast. We have made it very clear that we do not give money. The Half Brothers podcast is not sponsored by a political party, nor do we give money to a political party. But we're going to talk about what's going on in the news and what's going on in front of our face. And also, this is so hilarious that I have to talk about it. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, for sure. It's not a political podcast, but it is now. All we're talking from here on out is politics. So
exactly. We're selling out.
We're selling
whatever
out.
Your side is, whatever side you like, we're going against you. I don't know.
But anyway, I did see the one tweet from Elon. I might have seen more, but it was really hard to like tell if they were just like memes, like people trying to pretend like this is something Elon said. But the one that I saw that I'm like 80% sure saying, because I don't really use Twitter. I haven't genuinely used Twitter since I was like.
It's called X. No one uses Twitter.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I mean I haven't used it since it was Twitter.
Right.
And that was when I like literally stopped using it when I was like 21, because I was just like, this is toxic, like this place is terrible. Anyway, but I saw what he said, like the reason the Epstein files haven't been released yet is because real Donald Trump is in them. Yeah, that was
Dude,
nuts.
It's insane. It's just kind of crazy because it like started off like, Elon was like, they had the little send off for him, and they were like, Trump was like, "Thank you so much, Elon. You did such a great job. Really a great guy. Really so great, so good, so good. Thank you. Goodbye." And then he left. And then it's like, as he left, he was already kind of like jealous he was no longer with the crew in the house. You know what I mean? So like that already is happening. Then he disagrees with Trump on this bill, and he's giving some very fair criticisms to the bill, right? Talking about how I was in Doge. The whole thing was Department of Government Efficiency. We're trying to cut spending. And look, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what actually happened, what was cut. I don't know anything. But I'm just saying that's where he was coming from, right? If your job is, hey, we're going to cut as much spending as possible to bring down the deficit, and you work as hard as you can, or allegedly work as hard as you can, or you worked hard enough to really bring that down. I think it was $257 billion he cut from the budget. Whether you agree with it or not, like that was the exact number, around that number that he cut from it. And then basically he's saying this bill will totally undermine that and add $2 trillion to the deficit over time with interest. And so I would be pissed too, because it's like, I just did all this work to bring this down. You said this is your focus, and now you're kind of going against your word. So that's all fair criticism from Elon, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't know what it's like. How do you go from that to the next day, Donald Trump is in the Epstein files? Mark it, bookmark it. You heard it here first, folks. Like, I don't know what happened, because from what I saw, like, Trump was not really criticizing Elon that much. He was just saying, I'm disappointed, like.
So what was this bill that he disagreed with?
It's the big beautiful bill. Excuse me, big beautiful bill, bro. I really don't know, man. I don't know any of this.
Is that the one that Trump tweeted about?
This bill is going into Congress right now. Trump's trying to get it passed. It's a big spending bill. It's a big, beautiful bill. That's all I know. I don't actually know anything about it. I know it's supposed to change a tax policy that expires at the end of the year. It's supposed to put money in like the border security, other things like that. But it's like a huge spending bill, which the hypocrisy there is, Republicans keep saying the Democrats are overspending. The Democrats are overspending. Well, now this bill is one of the biggest spending bills like ever. Mm-hmm. And Trump's whole thing was like, we're not gonna spend as much. So I get where Elon's coming from. But what I'm saying is, how do you go from having a political disagreement on this and being genuinely disappointed to taking such a heavy personal attack?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like crazy. And then also, I heard this. There's some senator, a guy named Scott Bassett or something. Mm-hmm. And again, I don't know enough about politics to know who these guys are. Dude, Elon Musk body checked him, and the guy punched Elon in the face, and that's why he had a black eye. It got physically violent. Elon Musk ran at him and body checked him like a hockey player, and the guy hit him back.
This was like before Elon got dismissed?
Yes, in the White House, or wherever they're at in DC.
So did you see Trump's post, or the supposed post that Trump made?
Which one?
So it was saying something about when he asked, him and Elon disagreed on Elon was trying to get some bill passed to make American, like a mandate for Americans to have electric cars. And Trump disagreed with it, and he said Elon absolutely lost it and started going crazy.
Yeah, so here I'm actually looking. So
I don't know if that's real.
I know the whole Green New Deal like had something about that, but that never passed, and Elon was kind of against that for the most part. But I think there was an EV thing. Look, here's what I'm finding right now. Okay, so some of the points of criticism that Elon had. Musk called Trump's GOP tax and spend package a disgusting abomination in early June, highlighting its ballooning deficit and elimination of electric vehicle and solar incentives. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so these moves would hurt Tesla. So it's like, yo, you're hurting my money. I worked hard for you. So I get it as a businessman. Yeah, he's upset. That's hurting his money. Okay, and then it says, although Musk claimed he never fully seen the bill and wasn't involved in drafting it, he launched a public campaign on X, adding old Trump deficit tweets and urging Congress to oppose it. Okay, so this is actually genius. If you go and you look, I think he's deleted almost everything now. But he was going back to old Trump tweets that was talking about spending and basically pulling up the hypocrisy of like this bill right in Trump's face. It was, bro, I'm going to be honest, this was like Kendrick and Drake level stuff for Republicans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like for anyone that's in that MAGA camp or loves Elon or whatever, like this was the Drake versus Kendrick type thing. The only thing is, Elon is actually coming with some hardcore facts and like kind of winning and cooking it, but he's not going to win this. He's not going to win this popularity battle because he already left the left and they don't like him anymore. And now you're leaving the MAGA, which like they're not going to like you anymore. You know what I mean? I saw a tweet that was so funny and I texted to my friend Ben and it was like, damn, bro, liberals and MAGA going to be keying my Tesla now. I can't catch a break. I lost it, bro. I texted that to my buddy Ben that has a Tesla. He loves Tesla. He's been trying to get our other buddy Brandon that you know. He's been trying to get him to get a Tesla. It's like, bro, it's so fun. I mean, it's sad. It's sad that people are taking this out on like citizens that just have a car.
Yeah.
You know? And Teslas are dope, by the way. I really want a Tesla, but not anytime soon because one, I don't have the money for it. Two, I'm not going to take that risk right now, especially in New York City. Oh man,
I don't want one just because they seem like they're. To me, it's very impractical. Like my buddy Nick got one, and like it's a super sweet car, super cool.
Yeah.
Love riding in it whenever I have the chance to. But I don't know, all the things he tells me, like he can barely charge it at his house. He would have had to do like he could get like $1,000 worth of work done to his garage to be able to actually charge it in his garage. It would have hiked up his electricity bill a ton. Like it just seems like so they had to stop, like they took it to the beach on their vacation last year. They had to stop like 6 times to charge it, and like it's not like you're getting gas where it's 2 minutes. They're there for 30 minutes charging the car. So like that adds 3 extra hours to your road trip. Like I wanted one for a really long time, and then kind of just talking to him, hearing his experience with that, I was like, oh man, that sucks because I really wanted
it's definitely not the car for like road trips and stuff right now, but it's all getting better at that. Like even Ben has something in his garage now to charge it that was not $1,000 for sure. And there's also different payment plans and stuff. Yeah, look, I'm with you on that. Look, I don't even need a car in New York City, but it's like a little spaceship.
Yeah,
it's literally like your own little spaceship, and it's so cool.
The fact that it can drive itself is insane.
Oh, dude, bro, I was in LA. These Waymos. Have you heard of Waymo?
No,
dude. Okay, bro. All right, I need to send you a video. Let me just send you what Waymo is right now because this is absolutely insane. Oh, and they're being set on fire in Los Angeles right now. Everything in Los Angeles is always on fire.
Yeah, dude.
Whether it's the LA fires or the rioters and looters out there. It's really, I'm just really proud of them for, really standing up for people by burning their own city to the ground. It's really something beautiful.
Yeah.
And, anyway, Waymo are these self-driving cars that completely drive themselves, and it's like, but one guy got stuck in it at one point, and it was just looping around and around and around and around. Anyway, that's my
technology is great until it doesn't work.
Exactly.
The thing I'll say about the whole Trump Elon thing is, I was actually very pleasantly, like I was very happy with the way that Elon acted, because I feel like there was a lot of people that we're talking about Elon like a godlike person. And I think this just shows that he's a narcissist just like the rest of us. So I don't know. I was happy with the way this went, with, you know, kind of showing who Elon really is, that he really is a human. You know, he's not a Martian from outer space. He's not, you know, the second coming of Christ, like people were, you know, trying to pretend like he was, because, you know, he's this absolute mogul genius. To see how human he was, to see how, you know, truly he has like a huge ego. Like he always seemed like a humble guy from stuff I've seen him in. But no, that's absolutely not the case. Man is again, he's an egomaniac just like the rest of us.
Bro, if you know anyone that thought he was the second coming of Christ, please stay away from that individual.
Not actually. Nobody actually thought
insane.
He was the second coming of Christ, but
I think he's an incredibly intelligent guy who, at the end of the day, will mostly benefit our society for the better, because, you know, with some of the discoveries he's made with electric vehicles and environmental safety
and he made
and things
PayPal,
like that. Yeah, I mean, the guy's a genius, but he is an egomaniac. These guys, when they get here, bro, here's the other thing too, right? Like, these billionaires, I mean, they're driven by their narcissism, right?
Yeah.
Like politicians. Now, I don't want to say this about everyone, right? But like, it's just so clear and they might be right on some things. I'm not saying it's all their narcissism, but you have to have a certain level of narcissism to be like Elon or Trump or any of these guys that really think they're so much smarter and better than everyone else to be doing what they're doing.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
it may not be all. Like, maybe sure all is a broad generalization, but I mean, if it's like, it's more than like 100 to 1. It's not like we're saying like, oh, 99 out of 100 is like that.
Right.
I'm saying it's probably closer to like 999 out of 1,000 is like that.
Amazing.
Like so many more. Like that is the deep driving contradiction. And like, you know, like the Bible even says, like, I think it's Christ himself says, you know, the love of money is the root of evil. So it's not necessarily, he's not saying money is the root of evil, but the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
And when you have that much money, you wouldn't be able to convince me that you don't love it. You might be very articulated in your response to try to make me think that you don't, but your words are never going to make me think that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Look, at the end of the day, these guys are both psychotic, egotistical maniacs, but I think Trump's going to win this one. I don't think he's losing.
I mean, my thing is, like, what is there for him
supporters
to lose? Like,
oh, it's WWE. It's all WWE. I'm talking about the theater of it.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, his people, I don't think the people in Trump's camp are going to be leaving Trump to go to Elon.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think that, but, you know, I don't know. Who knows? I think they could make up. We'll see, dude. You never know. This is Trump is also such like a godfather.
The last time
he'll like make him kiss the ring and like ask for forgiveness because he's a freaking monster president. It's ridiculous.
But, I mean, the last time Trump was running, Elon was super against him, and then it was like
I know.
Within the year of the election, Elon was like, "Hey, I'm Team Trump now."
Bro, that's the other thing. I will say, this last thing I'll say about Elon that kind of pisses me off. It's like, look, I'm not a huge fan of any of these guys, right? Like, and I don't really love to be political, but one thing I will say is I don't like fakeness, and I do think every politician's fake for sure, but like Elon just showed his fakeness because now he's saying all these terrible things about the tariffs causing a deficit and all that stuff. Bro, he literally, like, all I'm saying is, bro, you knew all this and you thought all this and you didn't tell us.
Right.
You kept it from us until he made you mad.
Yeah.
Then he made you mad. Now you're about to act like you're on our
That's
side.
exactly.
Bro, I can't trust you.
That's exactly what makes me think the Trump thing was. I mean, I don't know. I know that you didn't see it and like you haven't found it, but that's what makes me think it was real. Like, it's not. It really just seems like Elon was having a temper tantrum because he didn't get his way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I do know that it's crazy because it's like the most relatable I've ever felt to the richest men on earth.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they're handling their drama publicly on social media. Doesn't it remind you of like growing up in Akron area with like high school and middle school drama, bro? Like we would just put people on blast on social media.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure some of my uncles that are freaking, crackheads still do that same thing,
Yeah.
Or like someone in Akron when their baby daddy's cheating, they're like, oh, this dude, the whole time I knew he was no good. He was saying this, saying that, saying that. It's like, girl, you were defending him last week when we were trying to tell you, like, he's not good for you. You know what I mean?
Bro, so, like, that's also something I don't get, though. Because, like, I grew out of that, like, forever ago,
I
dude.
know.
Like,
That's why it's
I
so
never...
funny.
And, like, but, like, there is so many people that are constantly posting their opinions online, constantly getting in arguments online. Like, I will get in arguments about sports. But that's genuinely fun to me.
Yeah.
Like, I like doing. I mean, maybe that's what it is for them too. Maybe that's it's genuinely fun to them to argue about politics and like these very complicated, like life, like ways of life. Like, people argue like religion, politics, all sorts of things online. I'm just like, I don't really feel like that's the place to be doing it. Like,
yeah, bro, it's just crazy when I put Aunt Karen's freaking rants on Facebook next to Donald Trump's tweets and they're identical. You know what I mean? It's just like, it is the most relatable that the White House and the billionaires have ever been to a white trash family in the Midwest.
yeah.
The most relatable. But yeah, man, it's very entertaining. It's hilarious, to be honest with you. While it's also sad because it's what our country's come to. It's like, whatever. It's already there. So might as well enjoy it. Have fun with it because, at some point, that meteor is going to hit this earth and Jesus is going to come back. So I'm out.
Amen.
Peace.
I'm on Team Jesus.
With that, since this is kind of like WWE style stuff, bro, I think we got to talk about this real quick. We want truth.
Smooth with it.
Oh my goodness, dude. I couldn't believe, for those of you that don't know or aren't aware of what we're talking about, there's a wrestler named R-Truth. His real name is Ron Killings. A few weeks ago, he X'd, that he was no longer going to be with the WWE, that his contract was expiring. He said he was released, but it is actually just they weren't going to renew his contract, right? So I think he probably had a week left. Well, he wasn't on Raw, or he wasn't on... Well, actually, he had a match on SmackDown that Friday. The next day is when he tweeted that. And then the following Monday, which was this past Monday, he was not on Raw, or 2 Mondays ago.
Yeah.
And then on Friday, he wasn't on SmackDown. But all throughout the week at every WWE event, the fans were chanting, "We want truth, we want truth, we want truth." There was a huge social media campaign to bring him back. And I'm watching, what was it?
Money in
Saturday?
the Bank.
Money. Oh, yeah, I must have said Saturday night's main event. I'm watching Money in the Bank and eating some halal food from the bodega up the street. Me and my roommate Aaron and a couple buddies here that have never really watched WWE are sitting here watching it with us. And we see John Cena and Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. Now, something happened, and a man in a black hoodie and black sweatshirt come in the ring. And I'm going to let you take it from here, Jacob. What happened? Someone came in the ring. You saw it before I did, but I'll tell you what my reaction was as soon as you tell me.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't watch, this is typically always kind of how it goes. WrestleMania season comes around and WWE really kind of starts cooking with some gas. This year a little more than other. Well, last year they also were cooking with some gas, but like last 2 years they were cooking with they went to the gas station, bought like 8 gallons of gasoline and dumped it on the fire for the road to WrestleMania. But then when you pour out all the gasoline, you don't have anything to keep the fire going. It's pretty easy for the fire to go out if what you're depending on is that gasoline. So then it kind of burns out after WrestleMania. They do their best to, create some hype, create some interest, keep you watching, but it really just isn't that eventful up until Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank is the first time there's a real threatening storyline reintroduced into everything. It's, if you don't know what the Money in the Bank contract is, it's like a little briefcase you can win and you can cash in for a championship match at any time, literally any time. So it's not like we've talked about in the past. John Cena has won it, and in the times that he won it, when he cashed in, it wasn't like a hey, we're just going to do a match right here, right now. It was hey, I'm challenging you to a match at this thing. This is when I'm cashing in my Money in the Bank. But most of the time, it's like somebody is hurt, someone's getting the crap beat out of them. Boom, music hits, guy with the Money in the Bank comes out, cashes in, starts a match right there. There's not a match happening. He starts a match right there and then wins the title. So that's usually when WWE starts to pick up some steam again. So WWE has not been great. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's not been great. Not been a whole lot going on. But as Glenn said, R-Truth was released. He literally just had a match on Saturday night's main event with John Cena. If you don't know who John Cena is, he is the main event. If he is having a match, it is the main event. So
you don't know who John Cena is, maybe talk to your doctor because you have Alzheimer's. Everyone should know who John Cena is, even if you're not a wrestling fan. So if you don't know that name, you either don't live in America or you somehow got access to this recording on another planet or in a third world country. And if you're not in any of those, seriously, see a doctor.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So John Cena.
Just want to make sure everyone's healthy that's listening, Jacob. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Cena is the main event. And R-Truth has a match against him 2 weeks ago in the main event. In the main event means the last match, and then a week later is getting released or is saying they're not going to renew his contract. Now I've seen stuff that was in the works for a while. They told R-Truth they weren't going to be renewing his contract, so Cena wanted to do some work with him to try to show his value. But absolutely crazy to me, man. They're having this dude in a main event against John Cena in John Cena's last year, and then release him a week later. So yeah, Glenn explained it like, we hear the "We Want True" chants all week long. Everybody's going crazy for it, and like they're loud chants. Like if you do watch WWE, you know the yeet that Jey Uso gets. It's louder than Jey Uso's chants. So people are really, really wanting R-Truth to come back. Money in the Bank comes around. This match is going on. Logan Paul, John Cena, Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, and dude in the black hoodie tackles John Cena, starts beating him up, stands up, takes his hood off, and I knew as soon as he took his hood off, I was like, I know who that is. I knew as soon as he tackled him, I knew who it was.
Really, I did not, because there was no reports, nothing had leaked, and it seemed like he was
I thought it was Randy for a second, and then I was like, no, it's not. Like there'd be no reason for them to do that. I knew. So then, as soon as I was like, okay, it's not Randy, I'm like, that's R-Truth. That's R-Truth. And then he stands up, takes his hood off, and boom, it's R-Truth. And then he hits him in the head with the title, because that's John Cena's new thing, is he hits people in the head with the title. So hits him in the head with the title. John Cena goes down. Cody and Jey end up winning the match. And then this week on Raw, I thought it was great, by the way. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, dude, that crowd was going insane. That's one of the biggest pops I've heard in a long time. Bro, that was Stone Cold Steve Austin level pops. That was like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, John Cena. That was one of the biggest pops I have heard in wrestling.
Bro, so you weren't watching at this time. Did you go back and watch the whole Kofi Mania thing?
No.
Dude, you got to go back and watch
I will go back and watch
They
it.
have a
When
little
he
like a
returned?
playlist. No. It's like when Kofi won the WWE Championship one time.
I know he used to be champion.
Yeah.
But I don't know enough about that time, yeah.
So okay, I'll just explain that a little bit real quick. So they just kind of throw him in the Elimination Chamber match. And they're, setting it up to where he's going to be the guy that is the last one there, but he just keeps surviving. Crowd starts going crazy thinking Kofi's going to win the Elimination Chamber. He doesn't end up winning, but he gets a ton of crowd, support after that. Ends up going to WrestleMania, wins at WrestleMania. When he wins, because he has to do like 3 of his finishing moves to be able to win. When he wins, bro, crazy pop, bro. Like, I think that's actually probably my favorite wrestling moment of all time, was Kofi winning the WWE Championship. Because I was a big Kofi Kingston fan. Like, when he first debuted, I was watching, loved him. So I've always been a big Kofi Kingston guy. Seeing somebody that's been in the company for so long, grinding, always just doing what is asked of him, finally win the championship, it was amazing. But anyway, this week on Raw, Truth comes back, and he's not going by R-Truth anymore. He's got dreads and everything, or not dreads, but he's got long braids. Cuts those off and goes, "My real name is Killings. This is the whole truth." What is it?
The whole truth.
Nothing
he
but
says, I am the truth.
the whole truth,
and
nothing but the truth. Yeah, dude, it was so
Put
good.
some respect on my name.
But what is even crazier is it wasn't a work.
No.
Afterwards, after Money in the Bank, Triple H in the press conference was trying to say it was a work. And R-Truth's son went on social media and was like, nah, this is cap. R-Truth went on social media and was like, no, I was genuinely released. You guys brought me back. You guys chanting my name brought me back. So that was crazy. Like they literally brought him back because of all the fans chanting. And it was like so bad that so like he was not contacting anybody from WWE. He was getting people from WWE were reaching out to him, and he wasn't answering his phone. And then Nick Khan, like the president of WWE right now, called him, and that was when he finally like picked up and answered the phone and was able to get something done and come back. But Yeah, absolutely nuts. This is like never, never, never been heard of before. Like this has never happened before, and I don't think it'll ever happen again. Like I don't think anybody will ever be this as beloved as him. I mean, the only other like close to it would be CM Punk, but that was a significantly different circumstance. That was Punk leaving the company, not the company saying, "Hey, we don't want you anymore." To someone who's obviously a major star, like R-Truth is one of those guys where like you don't might not think he can actually win a world title, but you're watching whenever he's out there. Because he's just so funny. He's so good. Like there's been so many like great R-Truth moments over the year. Like he's got more great moments than a lot of people's favorite superstars. Like I'll say this. I've always been a hater of this guy. I'm not a big Seth Rollins fan. I don't think Seth Rollins is that entertaining. I don't think he's that believable. I don't think he's that good. I think R-Truth has more moments that people will remember than Seth Rollins does.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think that's part of why Seth Rollins is such a good heel, because people really they literally don't like him.
Yeah.
But I do think what you just said about R-Truth, who is now Ron the Truth Killings, which he was at one point Ron the Truth Killings. He's been around for a long time. I remember before he was this character even, and it's just really cool to see the fans care so much. And like I was emotional, to be honest, because it was like this guy has been in the company for like I want to say since 99, maybe 2000, like early 2000s for sure. And he gets to see someone like John Cena get a proper send-off, and he doesn't get really any send-off, you know? It just kind of goes away.
Mm-hmm.
But the fans wouldn't let that happen. And now that he wants to be himself, Ron Killings, this serious character, his goal is put respect on my name. And John Cena was trash-talking him at the beginning of the... I think their feud is going to build. And
I think it could be him.
I think that if the WWE is smart, I love Cody Rhodes. I'm grateful for Cody Rhodes. For whatever reason, right now, man, it just feels like the energy is behind Ron Killings. And for him to maybe work towards it and build that rivalry and have him be the one to dethrone Cena could be something special, because it's also another legend kind of saying goodbye, because he's not going to be around too much longer. I don't know what the details of the new contract are, but regardless, he should at least get a real title shot against John Cena.
I think he should get to wear the belt, whether they somehow turn it into a feud with Gunther or they make him be the one that takes it off Cena. He should be a world champion.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
I don't know. There's just like so many people where I'm like, man, if you think about their career and you're like, oh, they were never world champion, like it's crazy to think. Like Kofi, one of those guys where I'm like, man, like to think about all the things he's done in WWE and say he's never been a world champion, that'd be nuts. Jey Uso, think about all the things he's done in WWE, to say he's never been a world champion, be nuts. R-Truth. So, I mean, like, there's a lot of guys that have been world champion. Like, it's sort of the same type of thing. Like, thinking about everything they've done in WWE, The Miz. So, I didn't want to interrupt you there, but I don't know exactly when R-Truth came into WWE, but I know that there's only 3 people that have been tenured longer than R-Truth in the WWE. It's John Cena, Randy Orton, and The Miz. All 3 of those guys have been world champions.
Wow.
Yeah. Those are the only people left that have been in the company longer than R-Truth.
Well, I'm sure we'll talk plenty of WWE in our next podcast, too, because we have a special guest, our first guest, actually, and we'll announce that when it comes out. We're not going to announce it in advance. But the last thing I wanted to ask you, Jacob, is how are you feeling? You didn't watch Raw, but you saw what happened in the Uso match, correct?
Yeah.
How are we feeling?
Stupid.
How we doing?
It's stupid. So dumb, bro. This is what I'm saying about, like, they just pour all their gasoline.
Match, I will say.
They just pour all their gasoline out. Like, what are we doing, bro? Like, what was the point? What was the point of Jey Uso winning the title? Just to give him
titles on Raw being switched over?
Yes, but like that's the thing. Like you have to keep the title on Gunther for a year because that's his character. Like he can't just lose the title again. Like within a couple of months, like he has to keep it forever again now because that's who Gunther is. Like he doesn't lose matches. Like he's supposed to be this dominant powerhouse guy. Like he's not gonna lose again for forever. Dude, I was very frustrated by that. I thought that was very
I was pretty
dumb.
frustrated. I thought Seth Rollins was going to cash in the Money in the
I
Bank.
was hoping that was what was going to happen.
But it'll be interesting. I feel like, I know Seth isn't that entertaining, but he's cashed in the Money in the Bank before and won a title.
Mm-hmm. Who's the only person?
So,
he was the first person to ever do it at WrestleMania until last year.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you not see Seth's cash in?
No, I've seen Seth's cash in,
Okay.
but I'm thinking about I'm just thinking about like when he showed up last night and didn't say a word. That made me think like he showed up just to show that I had the Money in the Bank when CM Punk and Cena were in the ring. That kind of showed me that like they're teasing that, but like he's definitely not going to do that then.
I don't know. I mean, they have the opportunity to do something fun. They have the opportunity to do
fun.
something good. But
And you know what? I do want to say this. Last thing I'll say on the wrestling is I disagree with you a little bit. Maybe it's because I haven't been watching as much, but I feel like wrestling is amazing right now. I am so invested in it. I loved that they brought back Randy Orton. Look, it's also John Cena's farewell tour. I'm going to take it in as much as I can because I know he's done after this, right? I'm not saying it's been perfect, and he's not looked great, right? But he's old, and he's not going to look better, unfortunately. So I think he's, for what it's worth, and like the fact that he's even doing this, I'm just thankful for. And I think he's looked good enough, and has had some moments where he looks good. But I liked the build to Randy Orton at Backlash. I liked the the R-Truth thing at Saturday Night's Main Event, and Cody returning. I thought that was great. I love what they did last weekend with him and Logan Paul. Going against Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. I thought that was the last 10 minutes of that match were pretty incredible.
yeah, no, that was a good match.
Yeah, that was awesome. And then R-Truth coming back in. So it's like every time I want to criticize them or be upset, they use that criticism to make the next thing better.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can keep doing that, then great. But what I'm worried about is that it's going to be too predictable, and it's like Cena's going to win, Cena's going to win, Cena's going to win, and then Cody's going to dethrone him again. Which, like, yeah, that'd be a good story or whatever, but it's like, I don't know. They gotta build. If that's what they're going to do, they got to get people behind Cody.
I think they have a really good
Cody.
opportunity to build up a really good Cody Gunther rivalry. Cody going to have his buddy Jay's back, starting a beef with Gunther, and them having a good rivalry. I think they have a good opportunity to do that. I don't know that they will. Hopefully they do. But yeah, I think I don't want it to be Cody that takes the belt off of John. I want it to be somebody maybe not necessarily new that's like never won a title before, but
LA Knight.
LA Knight. CM Punk. CM Punk hasn't won the championship since he's been back in the company. Randy Orton would be historic. That'd be, freaking poetic justice. R-Truth.
It was Ron Killings going against his childhood hero and becoming Ron Killings because John Cena made him so, hated on him so hard. And, dude, that would be incredible.
Yes. It would be. They have so many different avenues they could take this that would be very good. And I just hope that they do that. I hope they don't do the predictable thing and just do Cody.
Yeah. And The Rock needs to show up at some point.
I know. No. Stay away. Stay away. Stay away. Stay away.
I would love a Rock I want to see Rock v. Cena one more time.
That would be cool. That would be cool. But
I want to see Cena lose the title to Ron Killings, and then The Rock come out and talk some trash and be like, "You don't deserve this" or something, and then Cena turns on The Rock, and then you have Cena versus The Rock.
That would be great.
Even though The Rock is older, but he looks better than Cena right now, I still think it'd be a great.
That would be a great way to do it. If it was that predictable, I wouldn't be mad about that.
Yeah,
because that would be great.
Anyway. Well, listen, man, the last few things I have in mind were kind of sports related. So there's really two avenues we could go, Jacob.
Okay.
We could talk about your former quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then maybe talk about the finals a little bit because my Indiana Pacers last time we talked, I don't think we talked since they beat the Knicks.
Nope.
Well, they did. I told you they would. Anyway, now it's 1-1, and as this is airing, because we've dropped this on Wednesdays now for the time being, Game 3 is going to be tonight then, on Wednesday the 11th, as our millions of fans are listening to this podcast right when it drops. All right? So, two things. First, what's your take on Aaron Rodgers going to the Steelers? I, as a Browns fan, very happy that they signed him because I think he's going to be terrible. But what do you think?
I, as a Packers fan, am very happy that he signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers because there's rumors that he was going to sign with the Minnesota Vikings. And if he would have signed with the Minnesota Vikings, I would have had to hate that man for the rest of my life. And he helped me experience the joy of my team winning a Super Bowl. Like, I didn't see Favre win a Super Bowl. I saw Aaron Rodgers win a Super Bowl. So it would have been devastating for me if he would have joined the Vikings. So I was very happy to see that he joined the Steelers. And I do disagree with you. I think that he's gonna light it up this year. I think the Jets are an absolute dumpster fire. They're a very poorly ran organization. They have not had good coaches and not had a good team at all. And I think the Steelers are the opposite of that. I think they're a great ran organization. They have good coaches. They have talent around him. He's got arguably one of the best receivers in the NFL and a great defense on the other side of the ball. So I think that he's gonna light it up. I think the Steelers are gonna win the AFC North. I think the Steelers are gonna go to the Super Bowl, and I think they're gonna lose to the Green Bay Packers, and it's gonna be poetic justice.
You don't think that Kenny Pickett's going to lead the Browns to win the AFC North?
No.
Oh,
I think Kenny Pickett's going to be. I think Kenny Pickett's going to get cut before the season starts.
God, I hope so.
I mean, so I was listening to, I think it was Rappaport talk about it on Pat McAfee. They asked him that question. They were like, the Browns have 4 quarterbacks. They have 5 technically with Deshaun. Like, are they really going to keep everybody? And like, if they were to cut one, who do you think it'll be? And he was making the point that he was like, people don't always take this into account, but like, there are personal relationships in the NFL, and like, Joe Flacco and Kevin Stefanski have a personal relationship. Like, that's the reason he chose to come back to the Browns and not stay in Indianapolis was because of his relationship with Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski wanted him back. Like, they're buddies in a way. Like, so I don't think it's going to be him, especially because he's so old. Like, why would you cut him? Nobody's going to pick him up. No one's going to trade him. You have no value in him that way. And then you don't really know what you have out of Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. So it's like, so one, you don't know what you have, so they have no value to anybody else. And then like, what if they have crazy upside? Like, what you have in Kenny Pickett. You've seen him play NFL football before.
You know what you have in Dylan Gabriel too. If you've ever watched the Willy Wonka movie, those little Oompa Loompas. That's what you have in Dylan.
You're
Gabriel.
Really not a Dylan Gabriel fan, huh?
No. Bro, did you see how Joe Flacco on his knees is taller than Dylan Gabriel? Okay, so all I'm saying is the people that were hating on Baker because he's short, this, blah, blah, blah. Dylan Gabriel is a shorter, not as good Baker Mayfield, okay? So it just makes no sense to me, dude. It was a waste of a pick, in my opinion. I think he was a great college quarterback for Oregon. I don't think he has an NFL career ahead of him at all.
No.
I mean, even watching him, dude, I've watched the videos. I'm a diehard Browns fan. I've watched every OTA clip they post on the social media. The dude is so little that when he's throwing, it looks like he's throwing up here more to get it over the offensive line because they're so tall.
Damn.
Like, he doesn't want it to get batted down by his lineman's head.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man. So, anyway, but I thought he was great in the movies. Willy Wonka's one of my favorites. So,
and if it doesn't work out for him in the NFL, he's always got that to fall back on.
Yeah, didn't they make another one with Timothy Chalamet? I never saw it. Did you see it?
But it was just about like him becoming Willy Wonka.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that tonight.
Yeah. I'm actually a big fan of Timothy Chalamet.
I am too. He's so hot.
Honestly, you're not wrong.
But it was nice to see the Pacers put it in his face when he was in Indianapolis. So we'll finish off with talking about the Pacers. Like, dude, these transitions are so smooth, baby. Man, it's like I literally should have been a Conan intern.
Honestly,
it's just not fair. In another life, maybe I would be, or maybe I'd be that zebra that was flying in that helicopter. I don't know if you saw that. That was insane.
I did not.
All right, look it up. Man, you got to get... You're not on social media enough. You ever hear someone say that? You're not on social media enough. You got to be on it at least 5 hours a day or you're not going to know what's going on.
That's the nicest thing anybody said to me all day.
yeah. Get on social media more, dude. Anyway, no, don't really do that. It's terrible for you. But watch the Half Brothers podcast more often. Pacers are tied 1-1 with the Thunder. I'm calling it Pacers in 6. I know everyone's like, no. They've done it to the Cavs. They did it to the Knicks. They're not going to do the Thunder. Well, we're going back to Indy, and I like our chances. What do you think, Jacoby Ellsbury? Have you been watching, or did you give up after the Knicks lost?
No, I mean, I really only watch the Cavs series. I really just catch highlights on
Okay.
my phone.
Okay, cool. Well, just pretend that you watch. Don't tell everyone on the podcast that.
I mean, but I did see the score of the last game.
Okay. Do you remember who had more and who had less?
Yeah.
Did you see game 1 ending though?
Yeah, I did see that.
Okay, game 1 ending incredible, and I just knew Halliburton was going to do that. I was actually FaceTiming Moochie and Cameron while that game was going on, and I had the camera on my TV so that they could see it.
Yeah. The Thunder are too good, dude. They're too good.
All right. So what, Thunder
I think
what,
like
5?
you got to be within 20 points in the last couple of minutes to be able to come back. So like sure, they can do it from 9 points, like historic NBA Finals comeback. But if you're down 20 with a minute left, like it's not really doable, And I just think the Thunder have too many weapons for whatever reason. Shea shoots a stupid amount of free throws. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But yeah, I don't really have a whole lot of faith in the Sirs, my boy. Your chair is electronic?
No, my desk is a standing desk. It goes up and down. It's pretty cool, right? Yeah, bro. It's pretty sick, man. Pretty sick.
That is pretty cool.
Pacers in 6. I don't care what you said. I don't care.
Thunder in 5.
I don't care who you doing laundry for. I don't care what you pay taxes on. I don't care who your grandmommy is. I don't care who out here signing checks. Listen, if you're listening to this podcast, I don't care what street you live on. I don't care what the IRS says. All I care about is Pacers in 6.
I would love to see
pretty
it.
good
I would
promo.
love to see the Pacers win, to be honest with you.
And that's the bottom line.
I don't hate the Thunder, but I also I don't like them. And I love Tyrese Halliburton, so I would love to see the Pacers win, but I just don't think the Thunder is so good.
Nah, bro, I get it. Look, it's hard to honestly. It's like you want to be happy for both teams, but I lived in Indy for a while, so I got to root for them. I love the Pacers, but also I don't like thunderstorms. One of my biggest fears, real talk. So,
dude, so we were actually talking about this because I was at my buddy's fire this weekend. I don't know how it came up, but it did. When I was a child, I was deathly terrified of thunderstorms. Like, if there was a thunderstorm, I was really losing it. Like, I was so scared of thunderstorms, and then it
you
just
don't anymore.
No, yeah, it just kind of switched. Like, they're incredibly calming for me now. Like, when there's a thunderstorm, I'm like, oh man, like this is really relaxing. I was talking honestly to an ex-girlfriend about this. Not recently, don't worry.
Recently?
Not recently, don't worry.
We gotta catch
I
up,
just remember
brother.
having this conversation. Saying like I think that I like thunderstorms now because I don't feel like I need to be productive. I know pretty much everybody else is not being productive if there's a thunderstorm, so I don't need to be either.
Well, let me tell you this: about 2,000 people worldwide die from lightning strikes each year.
How many people die from coconuts falling on their head?
That's not the point, Jacob. Where are the
Just ask
coconuts
it.
in Ohio?
Just ask it.
Where are the
Just
coconuts?
ask it.
Way less. Okay. How many people die from coconuts falling on their head a year? It says none. It's never happened. No, I'm just kidding. Hold on. Wait a second. All right, the oft-quoted figure that 150 people die annually from falling coconuts is an urban legend.
Oh.
It stems from a 2002 claim by a shark researcher. Okay, so 2 people died instantly in the villages in the 80s. Okay.
So it's happened.
Yeah, but it's way less common. Look, here's all I'll say. All right, if you get struck by lightning, you're dead. That's all I have to say. That's all it is. And that's why
Are
I
you
don't
though?
like lightning, thunderstorms. Well, I mean, you're most likely dead, or maybe it turns you into a vegan or something.
Oh, that'd be worse. I'd rather be dead.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't. That's why I don't mess with it, bro. Because you're either a vegan or you're dead, and
It's really only one of those two. Like you're either a vegan or you're dead.
It could be.
It's not like you become that guy from Spider-Man.
You could become that guy from Spider-Man. You talking about the guy that sells the newspapers as like, I want pictures of Spider-Man.
No, Jamie Foxx.
That guy. Oh.
You've seen that
yeah,
one, right?
Yeah, of course, the Andrew Garfield
Yeah.
one. Yeah. I forgot. Electro Man, or
Yeah.
whatever his name was.
Or I mean,
I
you've
forget.
seen that one, or you've seen the most recent Spider-Man movie, which was not even arguable the greatest Spider-Man movie of all time. One of
Oh,
the greatest superhero movies of all time.
oh, it's the greatest superhero movie of all
It
time.
was
I think
so
for sure.
good.
Yeah, I think it's, the only okay, best Spider-Man movie of all time besides the original one with Tobey Maguire.
No, it's the best Spider-Man movie of all time.
Okay, what's the second best one then?
The original one with Tobey Maguire.
Okay, great. I just want to make sure we're there on this.
It goes whatever that one was called, Far From Home, No Way Home, whatever it was, and then it goes all three of Tobey Maguire's, and then it's the other two with Tom Holland, and then it's the three with Andrew Garfield. That's how it goes.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because I like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, but those scripts were
I didn't.
not great.
I don't think he's nowhere. I mean, maybe I didn't just because
He's still
he's
number
not
3.
Tobey Maguire,
Yeah.
and Tom Holland is just a really good Spider-Man.
He was the first guy to replace the first guy, and that's hard to do.
Yeah, and he wasn't
But-
young. I don't think he was young enough to where it hits the same as Tom Holland does.
Yeah,
Or looks
Tobey
quite young
Maguire
enough.
wasn't either. Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, but Tobey
that first-
Maguire wasn't. But again, he's the OG.
Neither was James Franco. They all were like in their mid-20s, acting like they were 16.
And they
which is
definitely
hilarious.
looked like they're in they looked early 20s. I'll give them that.
But that's how movies used to be for some reason, bro. It's like they didn't. I don't know what it was. They used to cast these like 25, 26-year-olds
As teenagers, yeah. And it's like when I was younger, I really believed they were high school. And now
me
that I'm
too. I
older
was
and I go
like-
back and watch those movies, I'm like, that's an adult. That's
Yeah,
not like you
that's a
can clearly tell
fully-
that's an adult.
Fully grown, post-pubescent.
Like Megan
Human.
Fox and Shia LaBeouf in Transformers,
Ah.
those are adults. But I thought they
me
were
start.
teenagers from watching that movie all the way up until I became an adult. I'm like, no, those are full-grown adults. What are
Yeah,
we doing?
Those are. Yeah.
Like, they don't need to go to math
Well-
class.
Speaking of math, don't you have a test? No, you got to go to a game.
I do.
So listen, why don't we do this, brother? This has been fun. Here's what I'll say. We always like to point you guys back to what really matters. And so we talked a lot about chaos today. We talked about betrayal a little bit. We talked a little bit about careers falling, fame fading, right? And then coming back with wrestling stuff. But we want to end with a little scripture of the day. And so only Christ stays steady in our life. God loves you. Look to him. Find your security in Christ and not in the culture.
Amen.
Rest in Christ and not in the culture. And here's a verse, Philippians 4:7, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Hallelujah. Remember, folks, full chaos, but full peace is possible. Thank you, ChatGPT, for giving me that quote.
ChatGPT is
this on.
so good, bro.
It's insane.
so
we didn't say
good.
everything, and we don't have thoughts anymore, guys. Everything, we're AI. This is an AI.
Honestly,
pod.
bro. We're actually doing the Book of Philippians at Collective, so
Are
yeah,
you for real?
yeah. We've been going
Well,
through it.
let's
Actually,
go,
when you were
man.
there, it was one of the days.
I can't remember. It was like a long time ago. It feels like.
Yeah, getting old.
Yeah, I am getting old.
So I did hear that creatine is good for memory. Creatine is actually like a
actually-
super supplement, dude. It's good for everything.
I've been taking creatine gummies because
I'm gonna
I
get
don't
some.
like, because the powder I forget to take on
Exactly.
the days I don't work out.
Exactly.
And so it's like I don't miss my creatine. Now I'm like, I'm addicted to the creatine gummies. But the last thing I'll say is I know we're already pretty careful on this podcast.
Yeah.
We're pretty PG, maybe PG-13. We're just having fun. We don't want to offend anyone. But now I will be working part-time as a youth director at a church. And so
Amen.
Folks, if I say anything here, go ahead and correct me, whether it's theologically wrong or, maybe a little too inappropriate. I can pass a background check in about 33 states in the country. And so,
Yeah, there's those 17 you can't go to.
yeah, we can't talk about that. But, yeah, and if you hear anything about that, then let me know because there are NDAs in place for that reason. We're just kidding. We're just joking. We're having a good time. See, I'm already going to get fired from this job.
Yeah, we're joking.
Yeah, I didn't. There's no way that I accidentally put some, cocaine in a kid's milkshake. All right, so. But, that kid, I mean, that
Allegedly.
Kid, he rushed for like 300 yards in his football game that day. So, he was really mad about it.
Who's the bad guy?
All right. Exactly. So, we're going to cut that.
He's got a
all
full
right.
ride to Alabama next year.
This has been the Half Brothers Podcast. My name is Glenn.
My name is Jacob.
Signing off. We'll see you soon, folks. Thank you. Have a nice day and keep smiling.
Bye-bye.